PETRONAS films have always been a source of inspiration for Malaysians, reminding us of the richness in our cultures and the power of diversity. Which is why, in this year's theme, we intend to spread a message of hope, that in times of need, we can look to each other for inspiration. And this is how we arrived at the theme for the year, that every Malaysian is an inspiration. Now with that in mind, we came up with a Chinese New Year script where the values of this festive occasion can be an inspiration to all Malaysians.
So we started off thinking about the evolution of Chinese New Year, how it's evolved into an event of inconspicuous consumption. Well, then we asked the question, what does it really mean to have a very blessed year ahead?
In life, we're so adamant on wanting the latest and shiniest that we forget how hard our parents actually work to provide for them. This story is about a boy who rethinks quite unexpectedly his attitude towards material wealth after a sudden lesson his mother taught him.
When I read the script, what I found most profound about it is its honesty. It's a simple and honest story about a rubber tapper's mom and her son. So, in order to tell it visually, I needed to tell it as honestly as I could. So we kept the cinematography from an observer's point of view to give you the feeling that you are watching and peering into Ahok and his mom's life from afar.
One of the hardest parts of making this film come to life was getting the correct locations. Coming a long way since the 80s, it was almost impossible to find a rubber estate that represented the glory days of rubber tapping in Malaysia. But thankfully, we managed to find this place in this small little town of Lukut, where it was preserved as close to the era as possible. We were reviving a very crucial time in Malaysian history. That's why every detail needed to be factually true to the era. From the cars, to the vintage signboards, to the furniture in the school, everything had to be precise and detailed.
We decided to set the film in the 1980s when the Chinese rubber tapper were mushrooming after the tin mining meltdown. Which brings us to the wardrobe, making sure the details of the school uniform, the houseware, and of course, the rubber tapper's workwear was the correct representation of the time. It was an interesting experience, even a humbling one, to research on the unsung heroes that built Malaysian fortunes for decades.
In the living room, there's a picture of Kuan Yin, and in that image, you see Kuan Yin standing on top of a dragon, taming it and controlling her surroundings, especially during turbulent times. And I think that's very reflective of the mother and son as well, about how she, as the mother, have to control her surroundings in order for things to not go to despair.
The values in this story are universal. It's about a mother's sacrifice for her son's future, something which her son never realizes or shows gratitude for, until the day when he has to walk in his mother's shoes. We hope this story of counting one's blessing and appreciating our unsung heroes can be an inspiration to all Malaysians. On behalf of PETRONAS, we would like to wish all of you Happy Chinese New Year.
Xin and Kuai Le.
恭喜发财！